Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to our beloved lecturer, Sir Mukhlis and my fellow classmates. For today, we would like to present to all of you about what we get from our research that we have done about the auditing during pandemic. Without any further ado, let me introduce to you our group member that consists of 6 wonderful people. The first member is Muhammad Haris Hilman bin Mazlan, followed by Muhammad Helmi Muhammad Rafi, Najiha binti Saiful Bahari, Nurain Sofia binti Zuhari, Nurul Nadira binti Sazali, and me myself, Nur Afika Azura binti Abdullah. So, for the background of the research, our main purpose is to discuss the theoretical impact of COVID-19 on audit quality. We aim to have 100 respondents for this survey and will distribute the survey to those who study and working in audit field. For introduction, the role of auditing has since its introduction been a critical cornerstone in the world's financial statement. So, this research is highlight some of the practical challenges auditor may face in auditing financial statements of the client in the light of COVID-19. Most of us are familiar with COVID-19 pandemic, which has a major impact on people's day-to-day activities, and COVID-19 has already had considerable economic and financial impact worldwide. This research is very important because the audit quality should sustain high so that stakeholders can make rational investment decisions on given information from the financial statement during uncertain times. That's all from me, so I will pass to the next presenter to present their part. Thank you.
When MCO is announced, a lot of auditors have to work from home. In our research, we found that these are the categories of problems that we found when auditing during pandemic. The first category is facility. A lot of homes are not equipped with a good Wi-Fi, so a lot of auditors have a poor or unstable internet connection to communicate with their colleagues or clients, and they also have problems of working at home because a lot of homes are not suitable or inconvenient working space. Next one is workload. So when auditors have to work from home while the documents remains at the office, the audit progress will be slowed down, but the deadline still remains the same and not being pushed back. So this will lead to stress and also affect the audit working performance. Next one is income. Some of the auditors are not being compensated enough while working from home. In some cases, their income are being cut in half, or in my personal experience, as an audit intern, I did not get any paid at all because I have to work from home without any supervision. So this is a big problem when auditing during pandemic. The last and biggest problems when auditing during pandemic is communication. This problem seems to be common among all auditors because whenever they're trying to have a discussion, they have to use other online platforms like Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, Skype, and even emails. These platforms have a high risk of misinterpretation and misinformation. There's also the late submission of documents from clients, which also leads to the slowing down of auditing progress.
Hi, I'm Ain, and let us go through on the methodology part. So, for the first methodology is, how does we distribute the questionnaire? To obtain the data of auditors' working experience during pandemic, the survey questionnaire has been distributed to all respondents that involved in the study. We collected the data from primary data, which is information collected through original or first-hand research. We utilized the WhatsApp application to distribute the questionnaire. The instrument used in the study is Google Form, which consists 3 sections. Section 1 is respondent demographic information. Section 2 is working environment and experience during the COVID-19. And last section is clients and third parties responsiveness during the COVID-19. Our target respondent is people with working experience in audit field or related. For the next methodology is, how do we come up with the questionnaire? To get a variety of feedback, the questionnaire contains both closed and open-ended questions. For the closed-ended questionnaire was based on Likert scale ranging. The higher the score, the greater the respondents agree on clients and third parties' responsiveness during the COVID-19. In the open-ended response, auditor will express any other issue they have encountered while working during pandemic. Firstly, we invented the questionnaire based on our own experience, such as our experience during internship. The knowledge that we have gained while auditing during pandemic has led us to come up with related questions that will give result on the study. Next, from one of the journal article, in research from Albita 2020, in his journal named Auditing in Times of Social Distancing, the Effect of COVID-19 on Auditing, we discussed the theoretical impact of COVID-19 social distancing outbreak on audit quality. Furthermore, to ensure companies are following the SOP during pandemic, the question on does the company follow the COVID-19 SOP implemented by MITI will help in the study to find out how many percentage are there companies that are following the MITI SOP while running their business. And lastly, to determine the working experience of the auditors by asking on the experience, benefits, effectiveness, and satisfactions. And lastly, we have come to the end of discussions on the methodology part. So for the last point is, who is the respondent? Respondent that involved in this study comes from audit field, which our major responder is from audit interns, which consists a total of 45% from the total respondent, followed by junior auditor, which hold 21%, senior audit 17%, audit manager 9%, and the list is from audit partner 8%. I guess that's all from me, and let's move on to the next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you, Ain. Now I will proceed to the next section, which is the findings that we have found based on the questionnaires given. First and foremost, we analyzed that most of the auditors are facing facility difficulty. Based on the graph that shows here, stating that majority of them prefer to work from office rather than work from home or both, which is alternate day, as percentage that vote to work from office is the highest. The main reason they don't prefer to work from home is that lack of facilities such as low internet connection and inconvenience working space. In our current situations with COVID-19, there are times when we need to stay at home due to movement control order, MCO, and everyone do not have any choices but to work from home, and they need to bring back many stacks of files. When working from home with everyone in the house, they need to share their working space with their family members. But when work from office, they have their own space that will not disturb others. Moving on to the second finding, which is workload. This graph shows that 46 out of 100 respondents agree that there is huge pressure in completing the audit work, especially when working alternately. The pressure that occurs causes them, the auditor, to feel stressed as they need to chase the deadline given, especially during peak season. During NCO, they need to work from home. Even after NCO, some of them need to work alternately. So they feel pressure, and day by day, their workload is increasing. In conclusion, both the findings shows that this pandemic COVID-19 affects the auditor in terms of facility and workload. I think that's all from me. Now I will pass my presentation to Nurul Nadila. Thank you.
Thank you, Najiha. I will present another findings, which are income and communication of the respondents. From the pie chart, we can see that 48% of the respondents' income are affected during the pandemic of COVID-19. Many employees lost part or all of their incomes. Even if still working, they had to accept shorter hours or wage cuts due to the instructions to work from home. The bonus and allowance for employees also have been cut because companies also earn less profit compared to the before pandemic. From the bar chart, we can see that respondents' income are affected regardless the job position. 38% of the respondents that are affected with their income are from audit intern group, which is the majority group that are affected. During the internship, some companies refuse to pay the interns' allowance if they work at home. There are also companies that direct interns for leave instead of working from home. Hence, audit intern is the most affected group in terms of income. The least affected groups are audit manager and audit partner. From the pie chart and bar chart, we can see that COVID-19 pandemic gives a large impact to an individual in terms of income. The last findings is the communication of the respondents during the pandemic. From the pie chart, 77% of the respondents are agree that it is difficult to obtain information or documents from the clients during the pandemic. Due to the pandemic, auditors conduct the fieldwork away from the client side because of the traveling restriction and instruction to work from home. If the client submit the documents late, it will affect the auditors in performing their work. Next, we can see from the pie chart that 47% of the respondents agree that it is difficult to communicate with their clients regarding any required information during the pandemic. Since there was a restriction in movement, it is difficult to some auditors to access to clients' books and records. So, the auditors need to communicate with their clients to obtain copies of key records through online platforms such as email, messenger, and video conference. That's all for the findings that we can conclude from the questionnaire. Let's move on to the next presenter.
Thank you, Ms. Nadira, for your sharing. Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Rafi and I will conclude for the whole presentation for today. The result of this research is pandemic COVID-19 shows significant effect to the quality of the auditors to perform their audit reports. We also discovered that COVID-19 is having an unprecedented impact on financial statements and auditors report and highlight some of the areas key and auditor, management and users of audit reports are to be conscious of when auditing and reading the audit reports. And also, professional associations, accounting and auditing body are monitoring issues and situations as they unfold that many affect the financial statements and audit reports due to the impact of COVID-19. Moreover, they are ready all the time to issue out additional guidelines as new development unfold and continue to update professional accountants on issue pertaining to the continuity of organization business, workforce, economic impact and other resources to help their members to serve their clients better in this period of pandemic. We recommend that auditors are expected to display enough professional skepticism and judgment and be focused on public interest and ethical responsibilities bestowed on them. The auditors continue to apply the principles contained in auditing standards fully as well as comply with the fundamental principles of professional competence, confidentiality, objectivity, independence, care and skills, and behave professionally. These keys that will preserve the expense auditor trust in the face of public. Secondly, technology is a must-have if auditors want to survive and continue in business in this period of COVID-19 and in the future. Lastly, an empirical study should be carried out to practically assess the performance of business organizations' audit reports during and after the pandemic in order to appraise the performance of auditors on the ability to gather enough and relevant evidence to be used in forming their opinion. That's all from us. Thank you for watching.